In this video, I'm going to share with you a hack that you need to be applying in your tech sales job hunt if you want to earn more interviews with top companies and wow hiring managers to ultimately stand out in your interview process and seal the deal on your tech sales dream job. If you're not applying this hack, then you're setting yourself behind the competition. So, what's the hack and why does it matter? It's studying the ideal client profile or ICP and ideal personas that the company you're applying to sells to in order to create a crisp and compelling pitch that you can share with a hiring manager upfront via a video pitch to earn more interviews, or that you can share during your interview process to really wow them and show them you know what you're getting into, you know how to sell, and you're already thinking about how to hit the ground running in the role, and that they can be confident putting you in front of executives representing their company. One of hiring managers' greatest fears is that they're bringing in the wrong person who they're going to have to handhold and babysit, and you can put that fear to ease by showing them that you're serious and you already have a strong pitch that you can bring to the table. So let's walk through exactly how to understand a company's ICP and ideal personas and how to craft a compelling pitch based on that understanding. And fortunately, I just went through this exercise with one of my Tech Sales Accelerator students, helping him prepare to apply to one of his dream companies, Webflow. As we walk through this specific example for Webflow, make sure to pay attention to the high-level principles that you can apply to any other tech company that you're pursuing. And if you're serious about breaking into tech sales in the next 12 weeks and you want a complete blueprint to do so, and a white glove coaching experience with personal support from me and weekly office hours and accountability in community, then consider my program Tech Sales Accelerator linked in the description of this video. And if you've got specific questions on the program, make sure to book time with me at my Calendly link linked in the description of this video as well. All right, let's get into it. So the first step when trying to create a compelling pitch as if you're selling at the dream company that you're trying to break into is to understand their ideal client profile or ICP and their ideal personas. For context, a company's ideal client profile paints a picture of what their best customers look like. They're customers that they're most likely to be able to help, and the customers that are most profitable. When defining an ideal client profile, you're going to want to look at characteristics like revenue size, employee count, technology stack, and the industry that they're in. You also want to define common compelling events that introduce a need for the solution. A company's ideal personas paints a picture of the typical people and their respective roles that either decide on purchasing the technology and own the budget or influence the decision-making process related to your technology. In addition to understanding who the ideal personas are at your ideal client profiles, you're going to want to understand the common reasons why they invest in your solution. What problems are you solving, and what business outcomes are you delivering? So when you're applying to a company in tech sales, how do you define their ICP and ideal personas? You start with their website. And that's what I did helping my Tech Sales Accelerator student when it came to defining the ICP and ideal personas and eventually developing their pitch for the company Webflow, which they really wanted to break into. So what I did for my student is I gave him some handholding and I went to the Webflow website and I looked under the resources tab and I clicked on the customer stories or case studies, and I started studying those case studies and taking notes on common patterns. First off, I looked for patterns in the ideal client profile. And when I looked at the case studies, I found companies like Dropbox, Monday.com, Fivetran, Jasper, and Lattice. And I started to notice some common characteristics, and I wrote those down. First off, I Googled all of these companies, and I looked up their revenue to give me a sense of their size. And the typical revenue ranged from 55 million to 2.5 billion. I also noticed that all of these companies were in the SaaS or technology platform space. I then observed a few other common characteristics. For example, for each of these companies, their website was critical to their business growth. Most of these companies all had goals of trying to go up market and attract larger customers. And finally, all of these customers had large digital marketing departments. I then took notes on the common personas referenced in the different case studies and the perceived business value that Webflow brought to them, essentially what problems were solved and what business outcomes were achieved. I noticed a senior director of marketing being quoted, who said the perceived value of Webflow is they were able to meet aggressive business goals and stay agile. I also noticed a head of digital marketing and technology who was quoted, and the value they perceived from Webflow is they were able to reallocate their budget saved on maintaining websites to actually promoting their offerings and growing revenue. And finally, I noticed that a VP of product and portfolio marketing was referenced, and they shared the perceived value of Webflow was that they were able to get things done with trust and confidence without compromising brand or draining resources. In understanding these key personas and why they love the solution, I'm equipped to target the right personas if I was in the SDR role at Webflow and reach out with compelling, relevant messaging that would resonate with them. And more broadly, I assess the case studies to understand why customers bought from a strategic business value perspective. What I uncovered is cost savings was a common key business driver. For example, using less resources to deliver marketing pages and reducing agency fees. Another key business driver was faster time to market for content creation like page builds, web experiences, and in one case, I saw a customer reduce the time to build new web experiences from 2 weeks to 2 days, which is a huge improvement and a lot of time savings and cost savings. I also noticed that productivity and efficiency was a key business driver, being able to get the same amount of work done with less people and less resources. Another key business driver was greater volume of content production, like web pages and SEO articles. And another business driver was greater inbound engagement and conversion, more downloads and demo requests that can lead to more opportunities and more revenue. And one final major business driver that I uncovered when studying these case studies was Webflow's ability to help these customers obtain more upmarket customers, essentially obtaining bigger customers that drives their revenue. If your solution can drive revenue, that is the key business driver to focus on because revenue is king. So, having done the detective work to understand Webflow's ideal client profile and ideal personas and what they care about, I can now craft a crisp and compelling pitch that I can share with hiring managers to either earn interviews or wow them in the interview process. Before we finish up with the pitch, I want to emphasize two key factors that dramatically improve the impactfulness of your messaging. The first factor is the relevance of your message, or your ability to tailor your message to the exact ideal client profile and their characteristics, such as their industry, their company size, and even their local geography. Relevance in action for Webflow might look something like this. We work with other directors of marketing at 100 million plus SaaS companies in the HR space. Another aspect of relevance is framing the appropriate challenges that are most common for the ideal persona that you're reaching out to. And as you frame these challenges, you want to up the specificity. And specificity is factor number two in your message. You want to share the relevant business problem solved and business outcomes achieved in a way that's concrete and specific, that shows you actually know what you're talking about and you get the customer's world, rather than sharing problems and outcomes at a very high, fluffy level, which leads the prospect to doubt your credibility. So, demonstrating specificity of problems solved and outcomes achieved might look something like this. Customers turn to us to help their teams reduce the time required to build web experiences from 2 weeks to 2 days to get ahead of aggressive business timelines and reallocate cost savings from site maintenance to promotions that help them acquire new customers and drive revenue. So, if we bring it all together, this is what a crisp and compelling pitch looks like that is tailored and relevant to the ideal client profile and ideal personas of a company, and highlights business problems solved and business outcomes achieved with specificity to increase the impact of the message. We work with other directors of marketing at 100 million plus revenue SaaS companies in the HR space like Monday.com to help their teams reduce the time required to build web experiences from 2 weeks to 2 days to get ahead of aggressive business timelines and reallocate cost savings from site maintenance to promotions that actually help them acquire new customers and drive revenue. I'm curious, what does your content production process look like today? Final nugget as we wrap up this pitch, it's always good to end in an open ended question that gets the customer talking about their own processes related to the problems that you solve so they can go on their own path of self discovery to realize there might actually be issues with how they're getting the job done today that could introduce a need to look at your solution more closely. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more videos like these, committed to helping you break into tech sales with a top company and maximize your career trajectory. Your homework is to study the ideal client profiles and ideal personas of the companies that you're trying to break into and sell for, and then to build a crisp and compelling pitch that you share as a video pitch with hiring managers to earn interviews, or that you share in the interview process to wow hiring managers. In particular, hiring managers might ask you, what do you know about our company? What do we do? Why do customers buy? Based on this video, you should be able to knock that out of the park. And finally, if you've made it to the end of this video and you're serious about breaking into tech sales in the next 12 weeks, then consider Tech Sales Accelerator, my in-depth program, as your guide, and that's linked in the description of this video. Tech Sales Accelerator is one of the most in-depth programs to help you break into tech sales in the entire industry. It starts with 12 plus hours of self-paced video content across 8 different courses, as well as 200 plus pages of workbooks designed to help you translate the concepts into action through written material. And most importantly, Tech Sales Accelerator gives you a white glove experience with accountability and personalized support and hand-holding every step of the way via the Tech Sales Accelerator community or the TSA tribe, and weekly office hours with me, direct coaching with me, and access to my network at top tech companies. Tech Sales Accelerator is going to help you speed up the process, know where to focus, and open doors to the best tech companies in the world. Again, Tech Sales Accelerator is linked in the description of this video, and if you have specific questions for me about the program, feel welcome to book time with me at my Calendly link, linked in the description of this video. I'd love to get to know you and your personal vision and goals and share how Tech Sales Accelerator can specifically empower them. Thanks for checking out this video and being a part of this growing tech sales community. I respect you for investing in your personal and professional development, and to your success in tech sales and in life. Happy selling and happy living. And we'll see you in the next one.